It outlines the chain of command, the flow of authority from top to bottom. It outlines the decision-making centers, accountability and cost centers. It ensures a clear division of labor, that specific tasks should be assigned to specific employees based on competence. Establishes unity of command, that employees must act on instruction from only one superior. It also establishes unity of direction. Related activities, functions are placed under one authority. Hence, we have these different units in our institutions or in our ministry, because they are specific to certain functions. It centralizes authority, it vests decision-making responsibility on leadership. It also establishes a hierarchy. Officers in higher boxes are superior to those in lower boxes. It also establishes unity of purpose. Leadership attributes are personal qualities that facilitate the successful accomplishment of executive performance. That is according to Zakar. When we say these are attributes, those are personal attributes, personal qualities. Those personal qualities are infused to an extent that they help you to be successful in executing a certain duty or in executing a certain performance. Effect of attributes. Leaders that are emotionally unstable and not able to handle high pressure are defensive, and those who put personal advancement ahead of personal integrity have weak interpersonal skills. As a leader, you must have emotional intelligence, which we touched on when we were stating the elements, the essential elements of a key leadership, or the competences. Well, the part of emotional intelligence will be separately dealt with in another presentation by a different facilitator. However, because emotional intelligence is key, as a person who is in leadership position, you must be aware of what emotional intelligence is. Therefore, it refers to the ability to understand and manage moods and emotions in the self and others. Emotional intelligence is critical to the counseling function of the human resource. Its components include self-awareness, that is confidence, self-management, self-control, initiative, goal orientation, trustworthiness, and also social awareness, empathy, servanthood. So we have got social skills as part of the components of emotional intelligence: influence, communication, bonding, teamwork. Emotional intelligence to understand when and when not to approach a certain employee. You need to understand the moods. Today, so and so is not in a good mood, so I cannot tell him or her this particular news or this assignment. Or this is how now, because if he or she is in this particular mood, this is how now I could approach him so that we achieve the mission of the organization at the end of the day. We have got leadership practices. Leaders challenge the process They inspire a shared vision, they create an enabling environment, they model the way. That is, they live the talk, they live the destination, they live the presence, the present. Hence, we are saying they model the way. And they offer encouragement. How do we then now develop leadership? As I've already said, that today you are in a leadership position. Tomorrow you need to hand over the baton to others and to take the ministry, to take the department forward to higher levels. So, hence we had to look at leadership development techniques. Firstly, it could be through special assignments, secondments, whereby you give that particular officer a certain assignments or projects to lead. Or it could be developed through job rotation. They could take a week, it could take months in a certain task to lead a team. In that particular way, you are developing those techniques, you are developing leadership. You'll be able to unearth those traits amongst them. And also through action learning, mentoring, multi-source feedback workshop, consortium approach, developmental assessment centers, outdoor challenges. Then we've got personal growth programs. All these, they form part of leadership development techniques. You are able to identify, you are able to develop that particular employee or employees, unearth their leadership potential. Because if you don't do this, it might be hard for you to identify them, their strength, their leadership, their position of influence, so that you can get the best out of them. Just give them specific assignments, job rotation, action learning, mentoring, outdoor challenges. Leadership approaches. We've got leadership by traits based on physical attributes, social, intellectual, personality. This approach assumes that leaders are born and have peculiar traits. That is, according to Banda, have got peculiar traits. For instance, we had President Kamuzu Banda, we have got President Jomo Kenyatta, and next door we had the late President Nelson Mandela. All these leaders, they had leadership traits, their personality. Then we've got behavioral leaders. That now these leaders, they behave based on a certain aspect. Hence, you might find it that it could be difficult to distinguish between a situational leader. But a situational leader is a leader who is now based on technical superiority in a given situation. And we've got a transactional leader who mediates exchange processes. Then we've got the transformational leader. In other words, it's also called the servant leadership, who inspires, who has got the intellectual stimulation, and who considers opinions of others. We've got the charismatic leader, who followers are dependent on the leadership's persona. We've got the managerial leader, who is a hybrid of transformational and transactional aspect. Then we've got the strategic leader, who anticipates a vision's pragmatic thinker. All these, as listed above, We say an effective leadership model is that which can be repeated or emulated. We have got a case study whereby you are asked to match the following leaders to the appropriate leadership approach that they practice and explain your match. Nelson Mandela, Sister Judith, Mother Teresa, Bolocha, Bishop Wamkoya, Pope Francis, Chinua Achebe, Wole Soyinka. That's the case study which you need to undertake to illustrate or to demonstrate your understanding regarding the appropriate leadership approach that these leaders practiced. Our next slide, our next session, in fact, we'll be looking at leadership in the 21st century.